Ștefan Nica is a distinguished figure in Romanian arboriculture, renowned for his dedication to advancing modern tree care practices. He co-founded the Romanian Arboriculture Association in 2009, aiming to align Romania's tree management standards with those of the International Society of Arboricultural and the European Arboricultural Council. Stefan spent 7 years in the United Kingdom, where he gained extensive experience in urban tree care. Upon returning in Romania, Stefan founded Nica Green Solutions in
Moieciu de Jos is a small village.
Stefan holds the prestigious ISA Board Certified Master Arborist credential, a title achieved by fewer than 2% of all ISA certified arborists. He is also qualified in tree risk assessment and is VetCERT certified tree specialist. Hi, Stefan.
Hello.
We are today in Bucharest. We visited here a very nice workshop organized by you and your association. Please be so kind, introduce yourself and your association.
Well, thank you for describing our workshop in such a nice words, and thank you for coming as well. It was a great achievement for the workshop. It was a great addition. I've been working in this field for about 25 years now. Started in England and then in Romania. I actually finished forestry, but I never worked in forestry. All my professional experience is in arboriculture.
And can you describe your working experience in the UK?
I started 2001. Because I did rock climbing in Romania and I finished forestry. When I discovered this, I thought wow, I can combine the two of them. I'm already good at it. Which in the first day I realized that it wasn't true. It was a completely new thing, and I was fortunate to work for a company which was large enough at the time. I had work basically in all sorts of neighborhoods. Some dodgy areas in some neighborhood where you would be wary of your surroundings, to residential areas, and also to the center of London, like royal parks. We did a lot of work in the royal parks, including some royal palaces like Tower of London, residential properties from the basic ones to very rich people. A lot of work for the councils in the center of London, like Camden and Westminster. We had to do good work, and we usually did it at the times.
And do you have in your head any particular project or any interesting tree which you worked on in UK?
Working for royal parks was definitely the most interesting project. I worked for a few years as a climber. And by royal parks, I mean St. James's Park, Green Park, Primrose Hill and Regent's Park. And but I think the most challenging was working at the Tower of London, where I climbed more or less all the trees. And because of the quality expected, the limitations with the noise and the people, the crowd control, we had to be very careful, and I liked it, and I have stories, a lot of funny stories from that project and from others, so I liked it.
Coming back to Romania,
yes.
What are, from your position, the challenges or the problems you are facing here?
One of the most pressing problem is the lack of standards, the lack of knowledge of modern arboriculture, and the lack of understanding of what's good and what's bad in tree work. And from this point of view, we are very happy to implement the European standards. Your visit here is actually part of this work to promote the standards to everybody. And we also started to create our national standards, more official, because people seem to like this kind of thing. You know, they like things to be official and with a stamp on it if possible. Also, I noticed one problem is the lack of communication between various people involved in the process of tree care, like arborists, municipal arborists, also public and architects. So in our work, we're trying to educate all these groups, to make them understand what's good, what's not good, what they can do, what they shouldn't do, and I can see some changes already.
And what inspired you to start with the Romanian Association?
In 2008, I decided to move back to Romania, hoping to use my knowledge in this country. And I discovered that things, not only they were difficult in terms of knowledge, local knowledge, but also they were very difficult because people were reluctant to accept a lot of the changes that I was hoping to bring from the UK. It was a necessity really to do this, to start this. At the time I met in Romania with a Canadian arborist who was with a lot more experience than me, Frank Panel. And you know, from discussing, we were talking about how difficult it is, and I was complaining. And he actually came with this idea, and he said, Stefan, stop complaining about things, just do something, you know, like what can you do? Well, let's try and, you know, if the system is bad or is non-existent, let's try to change it or create a system. And he had the idea to start the association.
Where do you feel the biggest support for your work? Is it government? Is it city officials? Is it public?
Strangely enough, the biggest support comes from city officials. Mm-hmm. The actual people who make decisions, who decide what to do. Public also has an interest, but I would say the biggest support comes from them, because they are the people in the middle, you know, the people who have to decide on what to do without being really specialized themselves into making these decisions.
And if you should introduce your company, where is it based, how big it is, what are your main activities?
My company is called Nica Grid Solutions. It's based in Brașov, somewhere in Transylvania. I can say it's probably the only company in Romania who does all the aspects of arboriculture work. We do tree work, planting, quarry regeneration projects, power line work, tree assessment, tree inventories. We also teach. We have a program like courses. Our biggest competitions is really the landscaping companies, the big multi-million companies who do everything, mainly landscaping, and think they can do trees as well. I'm quite optimistic about the future despite the challenges, yes.
If you should describe the area of tree care which is maybe the most surprising in Romanian context for city officials, what you offer, whether it's tree planting scheme or tree pruning?
At the beginning, there was the tree care, you know, the pruning was the big surprise for the people here, because it was such a new thing to see an arborist going up and with a handsaw or a chainsaw and just do the things that in the past used to be done with cranes, with elevated platforms. And so like 15 years ago when I came back to Romania, that was a big surprise for people. You know, people used to stop on the street and look amazed, like, what can you do? Like you were some superhuman, not knowing that in other countries it's just a normal job. But now our service has been more diverse. I would say like 3 tomography and 3 inspections. They find it more something new. And also the new services like decompacting the soil using like air injection, things like that. It's a new thing.
How is it in Romania with the certification scheme, the ETW or others?
Strictly for arborists, there isn't a national certification scheme. We're trying really hard. We've been trying for a few years to implement it, a system, and we will manage eventually. ETW is becoming more and more popular in Romania. At the moment, there's only one ETW certified person who lives and works in Romania, a Romanian. There's more Romanians certified, but they all live and work abroad, which is great for them. But it's for the country, for the trees in Romania, it doesn't really mean anything. So we're hoping to train people here that work here and contribute to the general level of arboriculture in this country.
And you are in contact with young people coming into the industry. What would be your advice for young arborists coming to Romania? Where would you channel him or her?
The advice that I would give them basically is to remember why they're there, what they are doing and who they're working for. To remember that if they're in a tree, they either as part of some regular maintenance or there's some conflict between the tree and the surroundings, and that they need to solve this conflict and do their job with the minimum intervention on the tree, because they're there to make sure the tree stays there for as long as possible and as healthy as possible. Also, obviously, more practical advice, to not just go and buy shiny gear anytime they see something new or his friend has one of them. Once you get something that you're happy with, just get on with it and work and concentrate on the actual work you do to the trees and concentrate on improving your skills as an arborist, not just the climbing. The climbing is just a way to get to a point, and then what you do there is the most important thing. So that's, in my opinion, something that the new generation should remember.
Okay.
No.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.